What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Sean Meehan, and joining me as always is my partner in crime, Mr. Conor Lawler.
I have one question, Sean, and that is, did you remember to cut the bit at the start where we said, I'm recording, and then you coughed?
I hope so, because I did fuck up the intro the first time I tried to do this. So.
Because I've had multiple people message me to say, you've forgotten multiple times.
In the 6 years or whatever we've been doing this show, yeah, occasionally I'm mortal.
Look,
Conor.
all I'm saying is the word on the street is that he's getting a bit... He's slacking. That's the words I'm hearing.
Phoning it in. I'm working from home these days, you know, so...
So this is Hero Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points. So we just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally cover DC characters and Sean normally covers Marvel characters for no other reason than it simplifies the process and we don't talk about the same character twice. Something like that.
We rock up to record some week and we've both done Bane.
But like every week we keep trying to do Bane.
Fuck, it's Bane again.
If you have a favourite character, what I'll say straight off the bat is if we haven't done them, and we've done hundreds of these, if we have not covered them, please send them in. Because we like to hear from you guys if you have a favourite character that we have not done. We've covered, we do requests. Now there's a long list of requests, so if you send them in we won't do it like the next day, but we'll try and get to it soon enough.
Yeah, and occasionally, and I'm guilty of this, we will do one that we just find interesting some weeks. They might not necessarily be a request.
Now, I'm just going to say, Sean, if this is somebody's first episode, though, you don't do any of that.
Chill out.
Honestly, just, fucking do nothing. Because just chill out, have a little listen, see if you like it. If it's your second or above episode, though, I'd like to kindly ask you, could you give us 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you could support the show, that would really help us out.
Fucking get your arse in gear, okay? You've been listening for 2 fucking episodes now. The best you could do is give us a fight. What are you doing?
This is a real good cop, bad cop situation.
You're going to go down for this, okay?
I can't hold my partner back much longer, guys, please.
We have evidence. We have camera pictures, video pictures.
So look, we are currently going for 200 5-star reviews on Spotify before the winter solstice, so high stakes indeed, and you will go down for murder if you don't do it. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, and so will your kids and your family. They were accomplices.
We're going to get them on a RICO for some reason.
I don't know what that is, okay?
I heard it in Batman the Dark Knight.
I've been writing no-knock warrants for every one of you fuckers.
Also, this episode is completely ad-free because of all of our Patreons who support us over there. So if you want to support us and you want to keep getting all these ad-free episodes, which I think are pretty cool, we don't need to sell you any mattresses or any of that stuff because, we don't really care.
Or weird vapes that aren't vapes. What's that one about?
I don't know. You can head on over to the Patreon. There's a whole bunch of extra bonus content and movie reviews and stuff like that over there. But Sean, enough of all that stuff. I'm finished talking. I'm excited to know who are you doing, what's going on. Last week I bummed everyone out with Vigilante, the most depressing man of all time.
Yeah, and I thought I would... look, emotion, Conor, it goes around in the world. What you put into the world comes back to you. Okay.
What a weird segue. Yes, go on.
You know what that term is, Conor? What that term is for what goes around comes around? What's that philosophy?
No, I don't know. Please enlighten me.
If it's a type of chameleon, I'm talking, of course, about karma, Conor.
Okay, so this is what Boy George was talking about all those years ago.
The very same, because this character debuted in Marvel Team Up number 100 from September of 1980, written by Chris Claremont and Frank motherfucking Miller.
Frank, okay. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna immediately assume things now that you've told me Frank Miller.
But it's a weird case because it's genuinely, she's a very likeable character.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No deconstruction of the form here, Conor. Just a straight down the line X-Men character.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of X-Men stuff in this, by the way. Get on board. There's also...
If anything, I've learned from any of our X-Men reports, and you've told me you were going to space them out, and this is like 2 and 3 weeks, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with this. But secondly, they always go batshit about halfway through.
True. But I need to preface this. So, the character Karma, Vietnamese, I'm going to mispronounce a whole bunch of Vietnamese names and phrases in this report.
Well, that's just because of the racism.
Look, I've tried my best. I've done the Google and you click the little speaker. I've tried, okay?
Did you do the little YouTube video? For
I did.
That's 2 seconds long.
Yeah. Oh, do you look up those as well?
Everybody give him some credit, guys. Come on, he's done the bare minimum. Please.
So, Xuan Cao Man is the daughter of a colonel in the Vietnamese army during the days of the Vietnamese War. Okay? Her and her twin brother, Tran Cao Man, were mutants. And they both have the same power because they're twins, which I just think is really cool.
I think either they have the same power, or if you're going to do it, they have the opposite of whatever power. Like one has fire and one has ice, if you're going to do the twin thing.
But then you have, Iceman and Pyro, who are just guys who hate each other.
No, I understand yeah, sure, I was just giving an example.
No, it was incorrect. So their power is that they can take mental possession of the minds of others.
Okay.
So more than, like, telekinesis or, like, mind control, they actually, like, their mind goes into the body of the person.
This is a very important question.
Go ahead.
When they do that, does their body just collapse down to the ground, or are they still in control of that body as well?
As their power develops, they are able to retain control of their own body.
Okay, because I just think of the bit in The Simpsons when Homer just, like, his brain leaves his body and then he just collapses.
It's not quite that, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So while still a child, Swan saw an enemy soldier threaten her brother Tran. Not realising that she had a superhuman power, she nonetheless ran to intervene, acting on impulse. She took possession of the soldier's mind and stopped him from killing her brother. Her brother then successfully attempted the same feat, but he forced the soldier to kill himself.
Okay.
So while Tran took great delight in the use of his newfound power, Xuan was frightened of her ability and kept her powers secret. However, Tran told their uncle, Nguyen Ngoc Coi, a general in the Vietnamese army.
So he told the uncle that, like, the two of them are superpowered.
Yes. And he's like, isn't this so cool? Couldn't we use this? But she didn't want any of this.
Sorry, how old are they now?
They're like 13.
It seems too young. It does seem a bit young.
It's a bit young, but these are X-Men characters, Connor.
Yes, they gotta have some trauma. We gotta fuck them up early.
And the reason they're young will make sense later on in the report.
Right, okay.
So, General Coi later arranged for Swan's family to leave Vietnam, which was now entirely under a communist government. However, only her brother Tran was sent abroad. The rest of the family, including Xuan, left Vietnam on a small, crowded boat. Xuan's father was murdered by attacking pirates, who also assaulted the women. Her mother died the day the survivors were rescued by the United States Navy. So she had been injured and, like, died of her wounds later on.
It is quite ironic that the US show up to kind of save them.
Yeah. We're not getting into the intricacies of the Vietnam War here, Connor.
The boys who lit the match show back up with the fucking fire hose.
The Agent Orange.
Hey guys, I'm here to save you from the burning house.
So Xuan was now basically the head of the family, looking after her younger brother, Leong Cao Man, and her younger sister, Nga Cao Man. They got sent to the United States to be reunited with her uncle and her brother. So her uncle, General Coi, had become a powerful and prosperous criminal in the United States, although publicly he was known as a businessman. And her brother Tran was using his powers in his uncle's employ.
Okay.
So he's like a low to mid-level mob boss, but with a brain controller for an apprentice.
Does kind of raise the question of why are you still low to mid if you've got a literal brain controller?
Kingpin's there, you know? You gotta...
Just take over Kingpin.
So, when her uncle asked Siobhan to use her powers for his service, she refused. She sought help from a Catholic priest, Father Michael Bowen, whom she had known in Vietnam from his missionary work, Connor.
As two Irish boys, I'm going to say wrong choice.
Michael Bowen did show up in A Hero or Zero before. He was the one who helped Dagger from Cloak and Dagger after the experiment that turned her into a light creature.
I don't want to say anything. Does he only help teenage girls?
With Father Bowen's help, Siobhan secured employment and an apartment and enrolled her younger siblings in school. So she's now just making it work. She's like 14, 15 at this point.
Yeah.
And she's just figuring stuff out. She's
just like a proper, like, a hero. She's looking after everyone.
Yeah, she's doing what she can. And she's not using her powers in any of this as well. She's just doing it on her own.
Seems like a waste.
At the same time, her uncle, General Koi, captured Leong and Na in an effort to blackmail Siobhan into working for him.
Okay, so now the two younger siblings have been kidnapped by the uncle, and he's like, you can have them back, but you have to start brain controlling people. Yeah,
they're hostages, basically now. Desperate, Siobhan located Spider-Man.
Fucking hell.
However, Siobhan has just arrived in New York.
Yeah.
Her only exposure to Spider-Man has been the coverage of him in the Daily Bugle.
Oh no. Oh no.
So she thinks Spider-Man is a fucking monster.
She thinks Spider-Man is Hitler.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, I'll clearly have to use my powers to get my siblings back. I may as well control someone bad, you know?
She's like looking at him and he's like helping like an old lady. She's like, look at that dickhead. He's probably going to mug that old lady.
Yeah, I should stop him before he gets a chance to.
He's probably going to murder her later on.
So she takes possession of Spider-Man's mind so she could use his powers to rescue the children. While possessed by Siobhan, Spider-Man fought 3 members of the Fantastic Four who were present at a party that General Koi was hosting, unaware that General Koi was a criminal. They thought they were just showing up to this New York business.
You know for a fact Reid knew he was a criminal.
Reid was Reid was stretching his hand to shake it under the table.
Reid was fucking encouraging it. He was like, have you taken any more children
this week? Do you want any more kids to kidnap there?
Fuck them up, General.
So Siobhan was forced to release Spider-Man's mind without having freed the children. So basically it kind of takes too much of a toll on her. She can't hold it for that long. But Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four located Juan and Bowman, the priest, and learned the story and what was actually going on. And they agreed that they would help her voluntarily now.
Okay.
Tran, her brother, used his powers to take control of the Fantastic Four and have them attack Spider-Man.
So wait, hang on. He's taking control of 4 of them at once?
Yeah. Because he's been doing this for years now at this point.
How many can they take at once? I thought it was 1.
No, it can be more. It can be group mind control.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm starting to see it.
To save Spider-Man, who she now knew was no criminal, Siobhan was forced to kill her brother by absorbing his life essence into herself.
Not quite sure how that works.
She takes control of his mind but pulls his mind into hers. But she's the dominant personality. But what's really cool is, once she does that, she gets more violent.
Oh, okay, so there's like a power of him that kind of moves across as well.
Yeah, and it's like the part that is more, it's faster to anger. You know, it's a bit more ruthless, perhaps. She is then reunited with her siblings. Shortly thereafter, Siobhan, who now called herself Karma when she was using her powers, was recommended by Reed Richards to join the school of Professor Charles Xavier so she could learn to use her powers better. She was so kind of impressive at the start, she became the leader of the new team of young superhuman mutants, the New Mutants.
From that movie that came out.
From that movie that everyone loved, with Brenton Thwaites.
That was Nightwing, the Brendan Thwaites.
However, she still has to support her two siblings.
Yes.
So Professor Xavier gives her a job, and she is the secretary for Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
Okay, so, I mean, he could just give her money, couldn't he?
True, but he's of a time, you know? You can't just give handouts to immigrants, of all things, Conor.
He's coming over here taking our job as secretary.
Right-wing Xavier is insane.
Magneto shows up, he's like, dude, you're a fucking... What? You changed, bro.
What happened to you?
I thought I was the bad guy.
He's wearing a red cap.
Magneto just shows up slowly, backs back out of the room, just like, I don't think I want to play chess anymore, Charles.
So she served on the team, went on a few adventures, was teaching the next generation of young mutants. Eventually, though, her siblings are captured again. Kidnapped, in fact.
They just seem like plot devices at this point.
They kind of are.
Okay.
So she left the New Mutants and embarked on a long search for Leung and Na. For a time, she searched for General Koi in Madripoor, hoping that he would be able to locate her brother and sister. So Madripoor is like this Southeast Asian crime area. It's a regular city as well, but it is a hotbed of crime.
Sean is saying it's all crime. There's nobody there that's kind.
Functionally, that's all it's used for. It's also fictional.
Okay.
So she ended up working for her uncle at the time, doing various odd jobs for him, trying to build his crime empire. Schwann encountered Patch, who is Wolverine's kind of citizen disguise when he's in Madripoor.
Hang on. Wolverine has a Matches Malone disguise.
Oh yeah. He shows up. You know in Deadpool and Wolverine where he's playing poker around the table.
Yes,
that's Patch.
But he doesn't have the big sideburns.
No. He has an eye patch on.
So that's it. That's the extent of it.
Yeah, but that's he goes to Madripoor as Patch and like learns what like the criminal, like the source of a load of criminal underbelly stuff is doing. Right.
Okay. See, if anyone doesn't know, Matches Malone is Bruce Wayne's alter ego, in which he looks like Bruce Wayne, but he just is scruffier, and he's called Matches Malone. He's a
taxi driver, is he?
Yeah, and he always has a toothpick. He's just always in the streets.
Surely it's a match.
No. Toothpick.
Moon Knight has a similar thing in that he has Jake Lockley, who is like the man on the street, gets information. And Moon Knight is just even more psychopathic Batman. So Patch was attempting to stop General Koi from overthrowing the current crime lord of Madripoor, whose name was Tiger. And so Schwann and Wolverine, I'm just going to call him Wolverine because it's easier, team up. They basically shut down there's a load of competing, like No Man's Land kind of thing. There's a load of competing criminal enterprise bosses trying to get control of Madripoor, and they shut them all down kind of one by one because it's easier because Tiger, they know how to work him. So then Patch Wolverine began his quest to save Karma from her uncle's service. So he is like, okay, now I'm going to get you out of this so you can go back to the New Mutants and look after them. They learned that her siblings were the prisoners of Shinobi Shaw, who was a mad scientist who did genetic experiments on them.
The right people to keep your children with.
Exactly. He then turned them over to Karma's longtime foe, the terrorist known as the Viper, who you'll remember from The Wolverine, Conor.
I do remember the Viper, yes.
Great adaptation of a character, as are all instances of a villain in those movies.
Hey, now, the Wolverine has some charm. Don't be slagging the Wolverine.
Wolverine has charm, but Silver Samurai is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, obviously, but the movie itself, I mean, you can't beat Samurai Wolverine.
When he's sad about that bear at the start, oh my god.
Oh, so good.
Have we talked about the Wolverine on Patreon?
No, we haven't reviewed the Wolverine, but it's been a classic.
And Wolverine also brings in Beast to help rescue the children. Together, they were all able to rescue the kids, and Beast was unable to do all of the genetic tinkering that had been done to them. So they were kind of like trying to activate the mutant powers in the kids, because they were like, maybe it's in the family blood. But
does make sense.
Yeah, but in the end, the kids kind of go back to normal. So then, there was do you remember in X-Men 97, Bastian had Nimrod, the big old sentinel lad who was killing everyone?
Yes.
So this is just a really cool thing that stuck around, is that she was fighting Bastian and members of the Human Council, and the Cyclops ordered the New Mutants to attack one of the facilities. However, she was attacked by one of the Sentinels and lost her leg above the shin as a consequence.
Right.
So she, since then, has a cybernetic leg in comics since like the 90s.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those things. It's like a definite history point in a character, which I really enjoy.
As it's also like that's her thing. That like the cybernetic leg is one of those where it's a really like, I don't know. There's like characteristic traits that you're like, oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's really good. She was also confirmed. It was hinted at for a while. Confirmed to be a lesbian in the comics as well. Which I think was like early 2000s. That was confirmed, which was quite a.
I feel like, I mean, you take a swing at anyone in the X-Men team.
Honestly,
really.
You know what?
You throw a dart.
I think there's a lot of flexibility among the roster, you know?
If someone, Jean Grey and Scott Summers are the weirdos, to be honest.
Even then, there's some stuff that goes on.
Even they, I think, swing both ways. So I think, it's one of those where you're like, look, lads, I mean, it's there.
This is just
the allegory is there.
Is that they released like a floor plan of like the sleeping chambers on Krakoa, where like all the mutants live together. And if you imagine all the bedrooms are circle shaped, right? And so you have Jean Grey's bedroom, and then there's two offshoots from that, and one is Wolverine's and one is Cyclops's. Genuinely, that's how it's set up.
They're into some fucking freaky shit, man.
And here, fair play to him, lads, honestly.
Look, I'll tell you something now, she never has a headache, that woman, I'll tell you that.
So in terms of powers and I just got that, sorry. And she also famously does get headaches when she's Dark Phoenix.
That's her main thing. Did you turn into some sort of phoenix? It's a whole thing.
It happens, you know. In terms of powers and abilities, she has moderate telepathic and empathic capabilities. So they started out moderate. She got training from Emma Frost, who is, depending on the day, one of the most powerful telepaths to ever exist. So she can read an individual's thoughts and feelings, sift through memories, or discharge mental blasts to overwhelm her opponents. She is also able to overwhelm her victim's consciousness while placing her own mind in command.
What? You know what? That's like God mode in terms of powers.
That's really scary, right?
Yeah.
It's... Because what she does, she can now feel whatever you're she's not just telling you to do something and you're doing it. She can see what you're seeing, feel what you're feeling, hear what you're hearing. Like, she becomes you for a while.
But can she also make you feel feelings, if that makes sense?
No, so your higher functions, so like your emotions, your critical thinking, your impulsiveness, that all kind of goes down and you're left with just the automatic stuff that your body does. Like, she doesn't need to think about breathing or move or walking. She doesn't have to consciously move every muscle. She just she takes control of your higher brain function, basically.
And my question, I've got two. One is somebody aware that it's happening? Like, are you aware that she's in your brain?
No. So people describe it as being in a dreamlike state, and afterwards they have no memory of the actual possession.
Ooh. Yeah, and my follow-up question was, can they remember it happening? As in, like, can they remember what they did?
No, they just black out and they wake up somewhere else.
You know what? You could do some fucking damage with that power, though, to be fair.
Which is terrifying when that's what her brother was doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's both terrifying and also kind of a bit embarrassing because, I mean, he made it to mid-level mobster. Like, you can just take over the world. But
I will say, in his credit, he didn't get training from Emma Frost.
That does make sense, yeah. Emma Frost is... If you get trained by Emma Frost, you normally are a badass.
And a really cool thing that I just like as a little detail is that she can only... When she first takes over someone's body, she moves really awkwardly.
Of course.
Her brain is still her brain and thinks she's moving her own body. So if she's taller than usual, she doesn't know how to step.
If there's... Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And then you also have a situation of... So can she, like, say, run into a battle... and it's her, but she's also controlling like 5 other people behind her.
So yes, she does have mass possession, but the way it is that her control is fragmented as she shifts attention from one to the other.
Right.
So she can only like they would all move together and they would all move in a unit, for example. But if there's any complex motion or anything that requires a lot of focus, only one can do that at a time.
Right,
and she's jumping around between brains, kind of figuring it all out. And if she's away from one for too long, that person will start to wake up. So it's this balancing act.
I like the logic, though. I like that there's a rule there that kind of makes sense, even in this weird world of mutants and X-Men, that you can kind of be like, okay, if you leave for 5 minutes, there's a timer, and they're coming back every time.
Exactly, and it stops her from just controlling 100 at once and just bossing every fight.
Like it means that she's like stoppable if she turns evil.
Yes, and then she can also remote possess people over a distance. However, she would need to be very emotionally connected to the person, and a lot of the time it's only like you can feel that they're feeling, like you can feel that they're in danger, or you can feel that they're, hiding.
Kind of like she has like the twin thing, but she has it for everybody.
Yeah, that's a really good way of thinking about it. Of like, just very empathetic is the further the distance goes. She can also generate a psychic shield to stop her being affected by psychic assaults. Most telepaths can do that because otherwise they are just broken.
Yes.
She's also a moderate hand-to-hand combatant. So after her decades of training not only in military, but also she was trained in fighting by Cable and Magneto. She also for a while fought as a mutants' rights activist, which she ended up just getting into a load of scraps there. She's a firearm expert. She's a businesswoman. So after most of her family's passing, she stepped up to run. So her uncle dies eventually, and she steps up to run the business, and it goes kind of clean.
Right.
But she's also like a multi-millionaire. But she's really good at running it, it turns out.
And it's not because like she's cheating.
No, it's like she's not like warping into people to do this. She's just genuinely
good. Could though. Really?
Totally could.
You totally could.
And also she's good at mechanical engineering. Ever since she lost her leg to a Nimrod Sentinel, she maintains her own cybernetics.
It's like it kind of like Roy Harper. Like with Speedy, like he loses his arm. That's like it's a moment in time. It's a moment in his comic book history.
It's never going to change.
That like people just, that is his thing. Like you just have a moment that is your thing. So like with the leg, that's the first thing I thought of when you were like, oh, this is like a really big character moment for her. That like comic books are like before this and after this.
Yeah,
and like Roy Harper is the exact same.
And then in terms of weaknesses, I really like this. If she remains in possession of a host for too long, she will eventually begin to think and act as her host would. And eventually her own personality would become subordinate to the host's.
What? That's fucking mad. That's so cool.
It's great, right? Like, so, and again, it's another way of nerfing that character instead. Because then you have a story where she's pretending to be someone for 2 years, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, because obviously, then she just becomes them. And so if... Okay, well, obviously, you might not know the answer to this, but she becomes someone, right? And she's there for like a year, undercover. Yeah. And then they slowly take over. Does she forget that she exists?
She would be in there. So it's kind of similar to what happened to her brother. They just kind of sped it up for the brother thing because it was more of a fight and a violent emotion thing. Yeah. But her brother, since absorbing her, she's more aggressive. She's more like prone to anger. So if she was absorbed into someone's consciousness, they might be more just and honourable and fighting for what's right and stuff. But like it's a subordinate personality, so it would just be like a little hint of her still exists.
Then again, though, you can do all this stuff. I think this is all really good in terms of rules to set up, because so a character like this really needs these kind of rules. But then you also have them take of like in a fight, she could just become you, punch yourself in the face, and then just go back to her. Yeah,
but the thing is that she'll feel herself get punched in the face.
Yes.
You know? Okay. Like if she wanted to, she could just like warp into someone and break both of their legs, but she has to deal with the pain of breaking both of her legs.
But could she not just warp out like a second before? Like they hit the ground?
Like a millimetre before the hammer comes down.
Just go back to her body and then they feel it?
Suppose she could actually, if she wanted to. I'd feel it myself.
I would be doing that. You wouldn't feel it because you would land perfectly. You're all your parkour.
I'd spread it across my back, all of the motion. Yeah.
You got to spread it across all of your bones. My skull, real big.
Like lying on eggshells, you know?
If you land on your head, your legs are always fine. You can always walk away from a battle. That's the way I look at it.
It's true. Your legs will be working, you know? But Conor, that's my report on karma.
I was going to say, if you land on your head, you can run and get help. But if you land on your legs, what are you going to do? Yourself?
Think your way out of it.
Like you have a broken skull, but at least you can run to the nearest hospital. It's the way to do it. But Sean, that is it for another report. A very good report, Sean. Thank you very much. So look, if you have your favourite character, we haven't covered them. As I said at the start, we've done hundreds of these. So if we haven't covered them, and he's trying to sneak in all the X-Men in one by one. I see what he's doing.
There's fucking heaps of them.
There's so many. You could just stick with that for months. But if you like what you heard here, as I said, you can support us in all the ways. But most importantly, as with every episode, is you just gotta tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
Just the one. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Sean Mayer.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.